Hello and welcome to Angler's Den Sussex instructional video on how to tie a tapered shock leader to a fine running line such as this braided line. The line I've got today is actually a Berkeley fire line. First thing we do is we take our tapered shock leader line and we form a loop, just an overhand loop. We don't tie a knot in it, we just literally fold it back on itself and form a loop with it. Then we take your fine, when I can pick it up, your fine braided line, and we pass the braided line up through the loop, pull quite a bit through because we're going to need that long tag to tie the knot up and then back on itself. So all we've done is we've formed a loop and we've taken that braided line up through the loop, and we hold that in our thumb and forefinger. Then we take the braided line and we wrap it around the doubled length of shock leader 8 times. So we go 8 times up. Okay. And then we hold that in our thumb and forefinger, and we then take the braided line back over 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then you can see that there. We take the braided line and pass it down through the same way so that the line comes out the same direction that it goes in. The braided line comes out the same way. I'll show you that in a close-up in a minute. I can get it through. Ooh. There we go. So the line is coming out the same way as it goes in. Now this is the important bit now. We wet it before we set it. The important thing to do now is to take the loose end of the shock leader. As you can see here, we've got quite a large loop of the shock leader line. So we need to get that small first. So we take the free end, the tag end of the shock leader, and we just pull that tight. So as you can see, that small loop starts to get smaller. And then we tease the braided line down on the shock leader. So we just ease that down slowly, then we pull the main line slowly. So we just tease the whole lot down bit by bit. So we pull the tag end again of the leader, and then once we get set to about 3/4, we can then pull the whole thing and set the knot. And then once the knot is about 2/3 set, we should be able to give it a good pull and that knot will set correctly. So, and there it goes. So we give that a good pull, and then all we need to do is trim off the excess line. So as you can see, the first thing we're going to trim off, we take our sharp braided scissors. Very useful when you're tying knots with braided lines to have a good set of sharp braid cutting scissors. First thing we do is trim off the excess of the leader. We can trim that very, very tight to the knot so there's no tag sticking out, so that when we're casting there's nothing going to catch on our rings and cause us problems when we're casting. And as you can see, the bit sticking out the side there is the tag end from the braided line. So again, we take our braided scissors and we can cut that off very, very tight to the knot. So again, there's nothing sticking out. Cut that very tightly there, and as you can see, that is our finished knot, our double Albright knot for tying a tapered shock leader to a fine running braided line such as the Berkeley fire line.